Let's do the rapid fire
Rapid
round.
fire.
I'll ask you a question and you can answer it for as long or as short as you like. You ready for this?
Ready.
Okay. Does LinkedIn launch a Zoom-like service?
Yes.
Does it launch a Clubhouse-like service?
Yes. Yes.
why you
But
why you hesitant?
they just need Zoom thing would make total sense because where did you go if you didn't have Zoom? You had Skype, you had Google Meets, and I think those are two substandard to Zoom. I think they missed an opportunity, but definitely Zoom. Yeah, definitely Clubhouse, but only like go talk to people that did Clubhouse early on
Right.
and bring them in and talk to them and say, hey, how do we do it and do it better?
Will groups be as good as Facebook groups?
Never. No, no, not never. Not unless they decide to be really good at some things instead of trying to be, average at a lot of things, which I think is a lot of the problem right now.
Will LinkedIn offer analytics for personal accounts or will it allow Shield.ai to dominate the market?
I think the question is, will they mimic what Shield is doing? I'm still surprised that they're not. And I've used Shield. I have clients who use Shield. Are they have approved? I'm still surprised they're not an approved vendor. They haven't figured out to help take that to another level. I mean, they got the views, likes, comments, and shares, but um, I just don't think. I think that's a long-winded answer. That's an example. And again, I don't know. I don't work there, but Shield's been around for how long now? That's an example of obviously people want it, people like it, they want to understand things. If you're an analytic geek like me, you're getting into. You did 500 character post on Monday at 2 o'clock. You get another 500 character post on Monday, but a different topic, and you're tracking that, and you want to understand the conversions. That's an example of them not listening. No, I don't think they'll. I don't think they'll do that.
I just find it incredible that people talk about
Not
Shield. People love Shield. That the power users love Shield, and LinkedIn seems to be ignoring that, and I don't know
They're
why.
just they're just again, I don't think they would ignore. I think again they're I think the data, the viewpoint, this is an anecdote. They're more interested in other things like ad spend, what they're going on with their ad
Right,
business. And I mean, like, you know,
got it.
you and me caring about, how many likes, comments, and shares. And look, you got enough. Figure it out with that, dude. That's what it feels like.
Right, 300 characters in posts, good or bad?
300?
3,000. Sorry, 3,000. 300 would
3,000.
be
Well,
bad.
it's so funny. I did a post today on my phone. I think I found a hack. I don't have the update or something, but it didn't let me go past 1,200 on my phone. I think it's good because I've many a post I've had to pare down. So I think it's a good thing. It just again, it's really going to. That's why they say short form posts the best. I don't entirely agree. I used to say it all the time. I used to preach that from the mountaintop. I think when you're a compelling writer and you can keep somebody in 1,300 characters, it's something to keep them at the 3,000 level. So no, I'm happy that they did it.
Do you ever publish articles as opposed to posts?
I haven't done one in over 2 years. It's sad. I did one on New Year's Eve, 2019, going into 2020. So 2 years, not quite. There's no good excuse, but I just fell in love with the short form thing.
Creator mode, meh or interesting, and if so, why?
Mode, like stories, I'm gonna put them together. Is the Ryan Leaf.
I remember Ryan Leaf.
He's the Ryan Leaf of LinkedIn. If your audience doesn't know, Ryan Leaf was, I think, considered the number one draft bust. It's
Yeah,
1998. So
yeah.
I know what they were trying to do. But and again, people have sworn like I'm getting more views, I'm getting this, I'm getting that. But then when I hear them say that they're not comparing, they're comparing a highlighter to a pin in terms of the post style and time and day and all that. I haven't seen a compelling thing for it. I like that they're trying to do things better for creators, but again, it just looks like I'm not sure who their sample set was to look at and who they talked to.
LinkedIn stories, a bust, a complete bust.
I don't think it's a bust. I like what I really liked about it, like I like with polls, is where it seemed like once you would post a story, they're pushing it outside your network. So whereas like a regular text post would go, I think it used to be they would the algorithm would send it to the first 10, maybe 25% of your first degree network. Like stories were going to total opposite. It was like 80% to the second and third degree. I loved that. But the problem is you can't get analytics. You can't download the information. Like if I put out a story about, the next best water bottle, in a commoditized environment, and people are all going crazy about it. I got to do screenshots to see who engaged it and viewed it and whatever. Same thing with polls. It's just like that goes back to your Shield analytics thing. I mean, they have a huge opportunity. My question back to anybody is: would you pay $25 more a month for better analytics. I would. I'd probably pay more than that.
Mhm. Right. Right. Every day, there are evangelists who say that it's absolutely necessary, and others suggest that as long as you're consistent, maybe 1 or 2 a week, that's good enough.
I never like that discussion without, well, what are you trying to accomplish? I mean, I know I beat that horse like I did on Clubhouse. I used to post at the height, I was doing 3 to 4 times a day. It had a direct relationship and followership. When I got to probably 130, 35,000 followers, more posts drove more followers. There's no doubt about it. Because intrinsically, I'm communicating relevancy in the algorithm, no matter who's engaging. So again, if you're trying to get more followers, I'm a fan of it because you're just going to be in the feed. And I've seen the ones that got a couple million. They get like, and I love these new people that come on, and you've heard them. Oh, I get more, I get more engagement than guys got people with millions of followers. Like those people with 1 million followers do not care about that statement. They're not trying to get a lot. They've been down the path of, hey, I remember when I had my first beer too. Like I had to pull it from the step. Right? I remember when I had 1,000 likes too. Like they're over that. It's a totally different game for some of those people. And I know that because I know some of them personally. So you have to ask, what are you trying to accomplish and work backwards? For the most part, the more you're in the feed, the more you're going to get attention. You may not get the same amount of attention on this post versus that post because there's a preference at that point. But in terms of name recognition, branding, more can be good. The unfortunate side of that is more that's like terrible is not a good thing. So this is what people are probably that are listening are waiting for me to say. If you're putting out like clickbait stuff that a fifth grader with a cell phone and time could do, that's not a good thing. So if you're in game, you got to understand your in game. And if you have relevant, and I don't like saying quality because what's a quality post? I don't even like that. What's a quality post?
Right.
What's good content? Quality and good content is going to be the content your audience wants to hear and see. In among other attributes. If you're doing that and you're serving them, I don't have a problem with more than once a day.
Do people underestimate the value of comments?
This isn't quite a rapid fire. They do. Comments is how. Yeah, I mean, I took some time off, so I mean, anybody that's followed me was like, "Oh, what's he talking about?" I built more of that follower base on my comments than I did my content. Even though I was posting that much, when you show up to a popular person's post that gets a lot of engagement and you provide a lot of value, like, and not just to do it, but you're bringing a lot of value to the conversation, you can see the result. People have said, and I agree, it's a giver's gain algorithm. There's some type of relevancy improvement,
Mhm.
an algorithmic score, magic thing behind the scenes. I've never seen it that goes on when you're giving to other people. Whether you believe that's an algorithmic thing or not, I just think it's a good thing. They want attention on their content. They want the right attention, but they want attention. No one's putting out content to get zero attention, right? That's called journaling. So I think people underestimate it because they don't see the immediate ROI, but people that have been doing it, I know that people that do it, they get it. They've seen the increase, not just in their followership, the increased engagement on their content. And if they're doing it for their business, some type of indirect, maybe about 5, 6, 7 degrees of separation ROI on their business.
Final question, and this may not apply to you because you've been on the platform for 4+ years and you have a huge following, but should people accept every connection request?
No,
Why not?
this is the only time I was going to give you a one-word answer. Well, I did that. I mean, I did that. In 2017, I was at like 1,000 connections. I didn't know anything about anything. And I started getting all these people coming in. I accepted everyone until I got to like 20, 22, maybe even like 25,000. And that was a mistake because, let me rephrase it. That wasn't a mistake. That would have been a mistake had I had a plan. I was just trying to find a job. I wasn't trying to be an entrepreneur. I wasn't trying to be a thought leader. I wasn't trying to do, I was just looking for a job, which again goes back to the personal branding. I think I did have, in that period, probably 10 or 11 opportunities that didn't work out for whatever reason. But again, I was in the feed all the time, and I'm sure I was communicating, God, does this guy ever work? Like, my gosh, like who knows? Or people were thinking that. So I accepted everyone. The typical response to that is, no, don't accept everyone. You should spend time vetting everyone, and it should be people that you would do business with or would hire you and this and that and the rest, which I always say, I don't entirely disagree with that, but like that's where you are today, right? I have clients that I still have, and that I had, but then worked with and didn't work with again for whatever reason, that I connected with in 2017, that were in my network, just sitting there as consumers saying, "Man, I've been seeing your content for years. I had no idea you did this and that. Can we have a call?"
Hmm.
But who can predict that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
how do I look at your profile and say, "Oh, that's going to happen with Mark in 2025"? So it's a painful thing because it takes a lot of time to vet a profile, and especially if you're a skeptic like me, it's like, okay, you know, oh wow, another coach, and I'm beating coaches up because I am one, right?
Yeah.
I don't hate coaching. I'm looking for the synonym to replace that word. I think if I come up with a word, I'll be rich. Um, there's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't, and there's some reasons why you should. If it's just about the numbers, then yeah, go right at it. But at the end of the day, it's a whole lot easier to accept one than it is to disconnect from someone. And just the basic functions on LinkedIn, accept versus, is easier versus harder. So I
Awesome.
didn't really give a good, concise answer to that, but do what's right for your business now and what you can, or your, what you're doing as a professional. A lot of people still close to the vest. I used to say connect with everybody, blah blah blah.